back. So these are the shots just from a little while back as Rahul Gandhi has now assumed the presidentship of the grand old party. Will he be the man who will revitalise the Congress whose fortunes have flagged in the last 3-4 years with the rise of Narendra Modi? This, of course, is the big question. There appears to be a bit of enthusiasm in the Congress workers. The party is at its lowest point politically, and it now remains to be seen over the course of the next weeks and months as to how successful will Rahul Gandhi be in turning around the fortunes of the Congress party. And of course, the big test will be the results of the Gujarat elections, which are slated to be out on Monday. And for more on this, we are joined in by our correspondent Khalid Shah, who is at the headquarters, and also by our political affairs editor Kartikeya Sharma. Kartikeya, let me begin with you. So Rahul Gandhi is now the party president. The buck stops with him. And this perhaps is a scenario which Narendra Modi would have been looking at with glee. Because cut it anyways, the Congress would like, this is now going to be a direct contest between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi. And there's absolutely no place to hide. Rahul Gandhi will have to take him on in the year 2019. And it is going to be a tall task. Is Rahul the man to take on the BJP now?
This occasion was turned by both Rahul and Sonia to directly attack the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. You know, this is going to pan out in a different way because, you know, the issues of hate or issues of intolerance or the issues of the violence and being tarnished all around, this is going to start a new war of words. But ultimately, you know, the proof of the pudding is in eating it. And my understanding is that the proof would be the Gujarat and the Himachal elections. You know, it's the political legitimacy which always counts. You know, what you have got. He has inherited a Congress party, but that's about it. You know, there's a chorus and he's come out to meet them. He's meeting the workers because ultimately the senior leaders were first allowed to go. But that's a different thing. Issue is, this is in-house. This is a dynastic succession. But whether he has it in himself to go for a victory. Gujarat is the only state where his mettle is being tested. UP, it has not worked number of times. Gujarat is one state where Mr. Gandhi is very, very hopeful. But nonetheless, you know, it doesn't mean that he gets removed. He's here for long. And I think Sonia tried to make that point that when she took over the Congress party, there were only 3 states under the Congress.
Absolutely.
But the problem is that under the leadership of both Rahul and Sonia, Congress had continued to lose the states. So those are dissimilarities also. But I would say 2 things. You know, all said and done, Sonia has retired very gracefully, you know.
Right.
There is an act of grace. You know, in India, politicians don't retire. You know, I think I'm watching someone retire from a position for the first time like that. You know, BJP had to create a Margdarshak Mandal. You know, the politician didn't retire. She has retired, so there are couple of issues. What happens to Priyanka? What happens to her role?
Right.
Will she be playing only parliamentary role or a MP's role? Or a UPA leader's, chairman role, that has to be decided. But to retire from the position, it's a rarity. And Sonia, being a dynast, could have continued till end. But she has chosen to retire. I think I think there's a grace in it.
And also, Kartikeya, you were there at the venue. You heard both the speeches, both by Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. We heard Sonia speak in Hindi, but Rahul's speech was a little more nuanced. He spoke a bit in English, a bit in Hindi. Do you think there are perhaps styles in which he's addressing the Congress workers that he'll have to look at? Because when he spoke in English, it was very scripted, it was immaculate English, and maybe the connect was not there. But when he was addressing the audience in Hindi, the audience reacted to him completely differently, because he's essentially a politician who's going to be pitted against Narendra Modi, who relies on his oratorical brilliance in gathering the masses to follow him.
Well, I think, you know, you have made a pertinent point, but I would say I would say that the issue is not that. Issue is slightly different. Issue here is that what Congress intends to do in terms of state politics. You know, where has been the biggest problem of the Congress party coming from? The biggest problem of the Congress party has started to come from various states. Senior leaders associated with Sonia had all quit the party. You know, if you evaluate the contribution of Sonia, it can be many. But imagine, just think what have been the biggest failures. At the cost of the organization, the party built coalitions. You stayed in power for 10 years, but you ended up completely ruining the party in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. You went for a harakiri in Telangana. Despite Prime Minister's reservation, Raja was admitted in the Union Council. When Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was against it, I remember it. 40 days the crisis lasted. That is how those Neera Radia tape controversy took place. Decision making was late. Despite corruption cases, despite issues of probity, timely decision was not taken on Kalmadi. There was a swell of anger which built up, and Rahul had to actually take the brunt of it. So that way, Sonia's legacy remains a mixed bowl. If she has achievements under her belt, then she actually has handed over a lot of problems to Rahul Gandhi. That is also true.
Absolutely, indeed. And Karthikeya, you've of course been interacting there with several of the party leaders and with the party workers. This of course is a sort of a home affair for the Congress. But the question is, at this point of time, perhaps the Congress party workers and also the leaders are the most demotivated lot, one would say, considering the flagging fortunes of the Congress politically. Will this now change anything, or is there some big electoral victory which is needed, which actually can change the morale of the Congress party workers there?
See, why are they demotivated? The reason why they are demotivated is because Mr. Gandhi himself has not been able to turn a vote catcher. Congress generally has been working on sympathy surges, 84, 89, 91, 99, 2004. It was only in 2009 that Singh is king, that if you remember, the whole election was around Dr. Manmohan Singh and LK Advani. It was not on Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi was a campaigner. But the star of 2009 election was Dr. Manmohan Singh. Middle class voted for Dr. Manmohan Singh. I think Congress somehow failed to grasp that. And by sidelining Dr. Manmohan Singh, a meritocrat, it did a great disservice, and the whole middle class shifted away from them. That is why Congress did so badly in urban areas. Second thing which A.K. Antony very brilliantly wrote in his report, which went unnoticed twice, and in 2014 he concluded it. He said that the Congress is being conceived as a party opposed to the interest of the majority community, and they feel that the Congress has indulged in great minoritism. And A.K. Antony committee report is a reminder of the Congress that the centre cannot be disturbed. And it is for this reason the course correction was taken in Gujarat, and it's for everyone to see. You can call it soft Hindutva, little Hindutva, whatever it is. But the course correction was there. So, these are multiple things which are happening to the Congress party. For example, Sonia and Manmohan ran a party which was balancing a welfare state with neoliberal economy. It ran its course. Congress party will have to run a fresh course with fresh leadership, fresh ideas. The old leadership, I think they are politically dead and gone. It's not the time for other leaders like Kapil Sibal or P. Chidambaram. They do not get public sympathy. And in politics, if you devoid yourself of sympathy, if you cannot get sympathy, you cannot get votes. Modi, first thing which he did in 2012, became an underdog and a person with whom people sympathize with. Sympathy is the most powerful factor.
Absolutely, indeed, Karthikeya Sharma. Now we are getting these visuals of the Congress party workers who are celebrating at the headquarters, even as Rahul Gandhi has now been crowned as the president of the party. Karthikeya, if I could come back to you one more time. This in many ways, sets out, the pawns for what happens in the year 2019. And also, I would like to bring your attention as to how the international media is of course, looking at this elevation. For instance, in Pakistan, one of the reputed, dailies there have said that Rahul Gandhi's elevation is akin to a sacrificial lamb that's in fact been put forth ahead of a very, very popular leader. How do you take this reading?
I think international media will be treating it like a dynastic succession. There's absolutely no doubt about it. You read any of the international press, they call it spade a spade. It's a dynastic succession. And they'll say it's very undemocratic in nature. And for the first time, the defeat of the Gandhis got tied to the defeat of the Congress got tied to the Gandhis. And international media in the past 3 years, you can say, have been very precise in which somehow, you know, a lot of people wouldn't do in domestic press, called spade a spade. They said, you know, to use a word like have Gandhis become a liability, are they liability to the Congress party, were used for the first time. I think the biggest battle in that way, in your question lies the answer, that will be the biggest test of Rahul Gandhi, because in your question lies the answer, does he have the ability to convert what is considered as a liability today as an asset? You know, Modi's brilliance lied in that he converted the asset of the Congress Gandhis into a liability. He said dynasty is bad. You know, dynasties are everywhere. There are political dynasties, but he proved it, it's bad. And yes, I also at a fundamental level believe that dynasties in political parties, in terms of transmission, is not a good sign. It's undemocratic. But you can have the families in politics, but doesn't mean that you get to control the party. Something like Justin Trudeau, you know. Trudeau didn't control the party. The son came and he was accepted as a charismatic leader. So that is a different thing.
Absolutely.
So Rahul will have to convert his liability into an asset.
Absolutely indeed. That of course will be the big test for Rahul Gandhi. Meanwhile, I'm told that we are joined by our correspondent Khalid Shah from in front of the headquarters, Congress headquarters. Khalid, you've of course been talking to several of the Congress workers there. What is the mood and sentiment out there? Is Rahul Gandhi viewed as a vote catcher? Can he turn the flagging fortunes of the Congress around?
Well, yes, the mood out here is quite jubilant and euphoric. There are young workers, older workers, there are women out here who have come to the Congress party headquarters in thousands in numbers, and they're really wanting to witness this historic scene. What's really striking out here is the kind of jubilation that the people are witnessing. I haven't seen Congress party being this euphoric and happy in last few years of my reporting. But today it's a mood is different altogether. We haven't seen this kind of a celebration ever from the Congress party. But what's also important to mention out here is that young ones are particularly holding placards, they're holding banners, they're holding posters saying that I am Rahul, which in a sense gives us a sense of what the young workers of the Congress party are really aspiring to or perceiving them as themselves as. And that clearly shows that the voters so far right now are perhaps in favor of Rahul Gandhi. His party workers have come from different state units, from Hyderabad, from Delhi, from Uttar Pradesh, who are really indulging in a mood of dance and color and songs outside the Congress party headquarters. There have been celebrations going on from early in the morning, and those celebrations don't seem to be coming to an end as yet. The celebrations keep going bigger and better and louder out here outside the Congress party.
Absolutely indeed. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed both to Khalid Shah and also to our political affairs editor Kartikeya Sharma for having joined us from the scene of the Congress party chief's elevation. This of course is going to be a very interesting next few weeks and months ahead. Can Rahul Gandhi turn into a vote catcher? Can the reluctant politician now prove to his opponents in the political arena that he has arrived and he's the one who will actually turn things around for the Congress? Now, this will of course be known over the course of the next few months, which are expected. But of course, the big test awaits him on Monday, where the proof of the pudding, as they say, is in the eating. And it now remains to be seen as to how well Congress would have fared in Gujarat. Well, let's also now take a quick look as to how the rest of the world is looking at Rahul Gandhi's rise as Congress president. Now, the fresh development in the Congress has been widely reported and analysed by media not just in India, but also in neighbouring Pakistan and elsewhere in the world. Now, Gulf News headlined saying, can Rahul Gandhi really run his party, challenge Modi? This is, of course, the big question. Can he challenge Modi? Has he got it in him to actually pull off a sort of a miracle? Whom, remember, Narendra Modi at this point of time is absolutely the most popular leader in India, at least in the last 3 decades. And also in an article that was published in the Gulf News, it has been noted that in contrast to his father Rajiv Gandhi, Rahul faces a hugely popular rival in Narendra Modi and the stranglehold of the veterans of his own party. And also Pakistan's Dawn paper. This is, of course, the paper that has come out with the most damning observation in terms of Rahul's elevation, where they've questioned if Rahul Gandhi is ready to fight. It is said that the Congress sign seems akin to a sacrificial lamb that his mother has been reluctant to make an offering of. Now, the Dawn has also reported now that he has rolled up his sleeves. However, his work ahead is multi-pronged. So is Rahul up for challenge? Will he be able to turn things around is something which only time will tell. And also Rahul Gandhi is going to be the president of India's oldest political party, and he will try to wrest power back from the BJP's Narendra Modi. The many see the 2019 elections as a direct face-off between Rahul and Modi. Let's take a look at the journeys of the two biggest political figures in India right now.
Many would say Rahul Gandhi's elevation in the Congress party was inevitable. He is the great-grandson of India's first Prime Minister and the son of the country's youngest Prime Minister. Narendra Modi was born in a lower-middle-class family in northern Gujarat, left home at 17 to join and rise in the ranks of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, the ideological parent of India's ruling party, the BJP. At 34, Rahul won the first parliamentary election from the Gandhi family stronghold of Amethi in Uttar Pradesh. It was a constituency his father and his uncle once held. At that time, Modi was the chief minister of the western Indian state of Gujarat. He had been a key strategist for the BJP in 2 successful state election campaigns. He first became Gujarat chief minister in October 2001 when he was 51. Rahul visited lower caste Dalit homes to win their support. He even took then British Foreign Secretary David Miliband with him. But he was unable to help the Congress post significant gains in the electorally crucial state of Uttar Pradesh. In the 2010 Bihar Assembly elections, Rahul famously urged the Congress to fight alone without alliances. The Congress won just 4 seats. The BJP lost Delhi and Bihar in 2015 and won Assam the next year. The defining moment came in 2014. By then, Rahul Gandhi was Congress vice president. He tried things differently, rode pillion on motorcycles, slipped into crowds of people, but none of that helped the Congress. Narendra Modi's BJP swept the general election on the promise of development. This year, the two faced off again in Uttar Pradesh. Rahul Gandhi threw his weight behind Samajwadi Party's Akhilesh Yadav. Modi and BJP President Amit Shah teamed up and meticulously planned their election campaign in India's most populous state. The BJP strategy worked wonders in Uttar Pradesh. The Pew Research Centre recently published a popularity poll of top figures of Indian politics. Narendra Modi topped the list with a rating of 88%. Rahul Gandhi came a distant second. Narendra Modi is one of the most followed world leaders on social media, nearly 37 million followers on Twitter alone. Rahul Gandhi joined Twitter only in 2015 and has a follower count of nearly 4.5 million. This is Palki Sharma Upadhyay for WION.